Hello everyone, I drive the Google Street View car. Ask me anything, and I'll even tell you about the new recent update and underwater view. Any idea how long it takes data taken by your car to make it to Google Maps? I waved at a car and I have been waiting for it to update to my beautiful face. Usually 6 months after I upload it. Is there a speed limit you have to stick by to make sure the pictures are fine? Or can you drive 100 miles per hour and the pictures still will be okay? All legal speed limits are observed at all times. Most freeways have 75 miles per hour speed limits. Do the cameras work when you're going that fast, or do you have to go slower? They work, but on freeways we will usually stick to 60. How much do you get paid? When's the last time you called your mother? Not much, around $30k or so now. It also depends on mileage as well. Maybe like a week ago. How are you paid exactly? You mentioned mileage. Is it time and mileage? Salary and mileage? It's not really a salary. Give or take 30k, which encompasses a certain amount of mileage. Then after I hit that mileage, think of it like overtime pay, where I get paid more per mile. What's the funniest thing you've seen when driving? Just people trying to be stupid for the camera. What is an example of people being stupid for the camera? Mooning, pretending to fight each other, make duck faces, give the peace sign. Do you get bored driving around all day? Do you have an iPhone? And if so, do you use Apple's Maps? I do have an iPhone, but I have 5.1.1. I won't use 6. But also I have a computer in the car with a built-in GPS. Why an iPhone and not an Android? Personal preference. Not going to go into that whole debate. What happens when you stop at a rest stop? Any awkward encounters? Oh yeah. People ask me to take their picture with the car, standing next to the car with their camera, etc. If I'm tired, I just ignore them. If they keep insisting, I'll usually pretend I'm going to take their picture and like do a selfie and just away. Have you ever seen any illicit activities being committed while driving? Not really paying too much attention to the side of the road. I guess once in a while I'll catch like a drug deal in a bad area. Ever been scared in some of the bad areas? What is the scariest or weirdest area you've been to? I've been all over New York City. Some areas I just skipped entirely. But Harlem was pretty bad. I had people throwing stuff at tech car trying to hit the cameras. Do you have a GPS with a pre-planned route that you follow? Or is it more willy-nilly? I get points A and B, as well as any major points of interest along the way. For the most part, the planning is up to us. Obviously we don't do like random side streets. We usually just have a quota of data to cache. The route is up to us. I would have thought this would be carefully planned and heavily optimized. The starting and ending points are, and take into account the area and where they think I'll be going. Do you and the sea lion who drives the Apple Maps car ever have standoffs at red lights? I always conceal carry just for that reason. Ever see a Raps and FedEx driver go at it? Yeah, grandma won't be getting get vase in one piece this year. How do I get a job like this? You can't really. They don't advertise it as a Google driving job, just as a temp driving job. It's random. What are your breaks like? Usually get to eat, or I'll go to a local store to see what the town is like. I never go to chain anything. I find beauty in mom and pop shops. What is the craziest thing someone got fired for? Wouldn't know. Drivers really don't know each other. Have you met any girls/guys while on duty? Yeah, but nothing serious. What do you wish the general public understood about your job? I have to do my best to avoid getting you in the shot. Please don't stand in the middle of the road waiting for me to get you on camera. Do you ever get people begging you to retake the picture? Yes. I never do. Craziest thing you have witnessed from the car? Nothing super crazy, just like a drug deal or two. I've seen a meteor shower though. That was fun, and would have been on Street View if it was daytime. What do you do to kill time? Usually take a hammer to its knees first. But actually I usually read various car websites, browse a little Reddit and Twitter, and listen to music. So what kind of vehicle do you drive, or does it change sometimes? I had a Nissan van, now it's the Impreza. I've read that some Street View drivers are jerks. I heard one got mad when someone tried to take their picture. You don't sound that way. Are you new, or is there a reason we don't understand the pussiness? I'm pretty tame. I enjoy the job. It's money. I'd work at McDonald's if I needed money. I guess I'm humble about it. IDK. But if you piss me off I do get angry as it makes my job harder. Most drivers are from temp jobs and are just douches to begin with. I saw a Google Street View car the other week in Southwest Washington. I waved. The driver did not wave back. I felt rejected. Indeed, kind sir. Most are out to earn a quick buck and really don't understand how many would kill for their job. How many cameras does the system use? What happens if one of them malfunctions / breaks while you're on the road? Not exactly sure. I'm just the Ryan Gosling of Google, not the Grant Imahara. It does happen. For the most part, we are never too far from an office where they have spares. Otherwise they send someone out to fix it. We do stop filming for the day, but I think it only happened once that I know of and not to me. What do you think of Google's self-driving car? Side note, it hit my friend's car. Not really sure about it yet. I'm not like a Google activist like some Apple fans are with Apple. I guess you can say I'm not gaga over Google. Have you ever masturbated while on the job? Just curious. Nope. Does Google keep a backup archive of all the old StreetView images? I think it would be cool for people to be able to eventually access those older StreetView images and look at how things were 10, 20, or 30 years in the past. Well, it is still a new system, but yes, they will be archived. Google Maps is archived back to the 90s. You mentioned you had an opportunity to work with the underwater photography. Is that a position that requires any previous experience? Well, I wouldn't be doing any of the difficult jobs, just like doing manual labor plus setting up equipment. I know the hardware but not software. That's for actual Google employees. How did the idea for Underwater View come about? I'm kind of hoping that one of those automated cars went berserk and drove into a lake, and the camera kept snapping pics for a while after, and you guys just decided to roll with it from there. The rumor is that a Google employee did underwater photography and compiled an album similar to what is found in StreetView. The execs liked it and wanted it to happen. Do you ever bring people, family, friends, etc. to keep you company? Not allowed to bring others with me, but that's why I have Skype. If my dog knew how to type above 40 WPM, we could actually be the true best fried couple everyone describes. On average, how long is your work day? Also, what time of day does your work take place? The day lasts as long as it has to, meaning if I get all of the data needed for the day, I'm done. If there's traffic or a guy messing around, the day will take much longer. Usually I try to stay away from rush hour traffic and just work non-stop in between everyone else's workday. Less people on the streets, less cars, much easier. How do they pick which roads to photograph? Obviously some roads are more important than others, but sometimes you see obscure back roads photographed. I ask partially because my road has yet to be photographed for StreetView. It can be directly related to the traffic in that area, or if large changes occur to the area. Other times, just random luck. We get a starting and finishing point, as well as key points. The rest is up to us where to drive to meet the requirements. How'd you get this job? I love to drive, but don't want to be a cab driver or personal driver. This really sounds like my kind of job. I got it from a listing from a temp job agency on Craigslist. Just thought I'd be a specialized driving position. Didn't know where. Then they sent me a letter saying exactly what I'd be doing. Do you have procedures if you hit an animal, human, or vehicle? And have you ever had an incident like that? I've hit like a squirrel or cat before. Without their dog tags on, I don't know their religion, so I can't bury them. Usually end up scooping them to the side of the road, put a daisy on them. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Hit this little critter today, my day is a bust. Is it lonely driving around the country all the time? Sometimes I'll have a trainee or partner, but I'm an introvert anyway, so I'm okay. I usually end up meeting cool people along the way, forcing myself to meet them instead of being alone. So how long are you usually driving at a time? Hour-wise? Usually from like 10 to 4, if I can avoid traffic. On a bigger day, like 8 to 6. Has anyone ever tried to vandalize your car? Have you ever woken up after a night at a hotel and had angry notes on it? Do people ever yell at you? Out of anger for privacy garbage? Privacy concerns, yes. People yell a lot. No vandalization. The camera system is put away and the car is usually parked in a safe area. Usually the hotel management will let me park right in front of the door so they can keep an eye on it. Can you drive into Area 51? I've always wanted to see Street View of what's going on in that place. Yeah, right. I'll go tomorrow. You'll never hear from me again. How often does Street View update in certain areas? The longest delay between Street View updates. My town hasn't been updated since 2008. The data says copyright 2012 Google, but the same car from the previous owner has been parked in my driveway before I moved in. The copyright usually would display the current year. As for updating, it all depends on how often that area is used with Street View. Does that mean if someone's address was Street Viewed extensively, they would re-image it? It would have to be viewed by several thousands of people before it really gets labeled as a point of interest. How often do you stop to clean the cameras of smudges/bugs/etc? We try our best. That's why we don't dive in the rain. It could have been birdshot. PBS never did like us. Favorite driving music? Favorite podcast? Who pays for the gas? Do you stay in hotels? Ever use your cool Street View car to pick up chicks? Usually depends on my mood. Mostly rock, like AC/DC, but I do enjoy stuff like Or and Dave Matthews. Podcasts would be most of How Stuff Works podcasts, like Stuff You Should Know, some NPR stuff. They pay for gas. Sometimes yes. All paid for. Nope, I wish.